the smile that echoed through time. Marie stood amid the bustling halls of the Louvre, amid the constant chatter of tourists and the click of countless cameras. Her eyes were fixed on the Mona Lisa's enigmatic smile, which had captivated millions for centuries. As an art history student, Marie had studied this painting extensively, but seeing it in person was an entirely different experience. The crowd jostled around her, but Marie remained still, lost in the depths of those mysterious eyes. Suddenly, a strange sensation washed over her. The room seemed to spin, the voices faded, and Marie felt herself pulled into the painting. Marie stood on a hill overlooking a lush Italian landscape, when the world stopped spinning. The air was crisp, filled with the scent of cypress trees and distant wildflowers. In the valley below, she could see a villa surrounded by gardens, a scene strikingly familiar to the background of the painting she had just studied. "Beautiful, isn't it?" a soft voice spoke behind her. Marie turned to find a woman in a dark dress, her hair neatly arranged, with an unmistakable smile. It was her, Lisa Gherardini, the woman believed to be the model for the Mona Lisa. How is this possible?" Marie stuttered, her mind reeling. Lisa's smile deepened, reminiscent of the portrait that would one day become world famous. "Art has a way of transcending time, doesn't it? Come walk with me." As they strolled through the countryside, Lisa began to speak of her life, of Florence during the Renaissance, and of a brilliant but eccentric artist named Leonardo da Vinci. "Leonardo sees the world differently," Lisa explained. "He doesn't just paint what he sees, he paints what he understands. When he looks at me, he sees not just a woman, but the mysteries of the human soul." Marie listened, enraptured. This was history coming alive before her eyes. "But your smile," she couldn't help but ask, "why is it so enigmatic?" Lisa laughed, a musical sound that echoed across the hills. The smile. "Leonardo asked me to hold still for hours, yet he wanted my expression to be natural. So he would tell jokes and recount fascinating stories of his inventions and discoveries. My smile is one of amusement, of being in on a secret that the rest of the world is trying to decipher." As they walked, the landscape seemed to shift subtly. Marie noticed easels and canvases appearing here and there, in various stages of completion. She realized they were walking through Leonardo's mind, seeing the world as he saw it, full of possibility, mystery, and interconnectedness. "Leonardo doesn't just paint portraits," Lisa continued. "He's painting the connection between all things. In my eyes, he sees the same curves and shadows he studies in rivers and valleys. He finds the same graceful lines he observes in birds' wings in my hands." Marie's perspective was shifting with every step. She began to see how the folds in Lisa's dress mirrored the undulating hills, how the light playing on her skin was like sunlight dappling through leaves. As they reached the top of another hill, Marie gasped. Before them stood Leonardo himself, working intensely at an easel. His eyes darted between Lisa and the canvas, his hand moving with swift sure strokes. "He won't see us," Lisa said softly. "We're merely echoes in time. But watch closely. This is where art and eternity intertwine." Marie observed in awe as the painting took shape. It wasn't just a portrait emerging on the canvas, it was a window into the soul of the Renaissance, a capture of the human spirit that would endure for centuries. "But why has your portrait become so famous?" Marie asked. "Out of all of Leonardo's works." Lisa's smile took on a hint of mischief. "Perhaps because I hold the secret of Leonardo's genius in my smile. Or perhaps because in me, people see a reflection of themselves, their mysteries, their hidden depths. Art, my dear, is as much about the viewer as it is about the subject." The scene began to fade, colors blurring like wet paint. Marie felt the pull of her own time calling her back. "Wait," she cried. "I have so many more questions." Lisa's voice came as if from a great distance. "The greatest art doesn't answer questions, Marie. It inspires them. Carry this moment with you. Let it color how you see the world." With a gasp, Marie returned to the Louvre, standing before the Mona Lisa. The crowd continued to mill about, unaware of her incredible journey. But Marie saw the painting with new eyes now. She saw the genius of Leonardo, the spirit of the Renaissance, and the timeless connection between artist, subject, and viewer. As she stood there, Marie realized she was smiling, a small, knowing smile not unlike the one in the painting before her. She understood now that the true power of art lay not just in its creation, but in its ability to transform us, connect us across time and space, and show us the world anew. At that moment, Marie knew her life had changed. She would dedicate herself to studying art and helping others see the magic she had experienced. For in every brushstroke, in every play of light and shadow, there was a story waiting to be discovered, a journey waiting to be taken. As she finally turned away from the Mona Lisa, Marie could have sworn she saw the painted lips curve up just a fraction more, as if sharing a secret that had spanned centuries. The smile that had puzzled the world for 500 years was now etched in her heart, a reminder of the day she had walked through a masterpiece and emerged forever changed.